Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about what is passive income. Do you know what passive income is? Maybe you don't. But if you have any idea of what it is, go ahead and put that into the comments below and I will pick my favorite one and I will reply to you. So go ahead and put that in the comments. So once you do that, let's get started with the video. So as I was saying in the intro, in this video, we're going to talk about what is passive income. We're also going to talk about why passive income is important, and we're also going to talk about why you should care about developing passive income. So if those topics sound interesting to you, definitely stick around until the end of the video. Alright, so let's start with number one. What is passive income? So first off, I want to tell you that there are many definitions of what passive income is. So when we talk about passive income, it is money that comes in with little or no effort on your part. You could also say that passive income is a result of your work in the past that is now generating some type of income for you. So for example, maybe you created something in the past. It could be a content piece like a video or an article or a blog post, or maybe you created a product. Maybe it's a digital product, or maybe it's a physical product. Well, after you put in that initial effort, now you can reap the benefits of that work in the form of an income. So that right there is one example of what passive income is. Another way to look at passive income is think about all of those assets that you own. Maybe you have a house, maybe you have a car, maybe you have some type of investment. Well, those assets that you own, they could potentially generate some type of income for you. So for example, if you have a house, you could rent out that house, and now you're generating rental income. If you have a car that's just sitting in the driveway, well, you could use a service like Turo, and now you're renting out your car, and you're generating income through your car. Or maybe you have an investment. Maybe it's stocks. Maybe it's bonds. Maybe it's cryptocurrency. Well, if you have those investments, they could potentially generate some type of income for you. So those are just other examples of what passive income is. There are also other ways to make passive income. For example, you could take surveys online, and you could do paid to click or PTC, and with that, you could earn passive income. There are people who are earning thousands of dollars per month, doing things like paid to click or taking online surveys. It may not be a lot initially, but you can scale it up over time. So these are some of the different ways that you could make passive income. As you can see, there are many different ways to make passive income, and now that you know some of them, the question is, why should you even bother with passive income? Well, that brings us to number two, why passive income is important. Passive income is important because it gives you the ability to have more freedom and flexibility with your time. With passive income, you're not trading your time for money. Instead, you're using your time to create systems or create assets that bring in money even while you sleep. Now, it may seem impossible, especially if you have a job where you're working 9 to 5, and you feel like you don't have enough time to create passive income streams. But trust me, it's possible. And it all starts with putting in the initial effort. Like I said earlier, passive income is a result of your work in the past that is now bringing in income for you. So it takes some time and it takes some effort initially. But over time, that work that you put in now starts to pay off, and you can enjoy the benefits of that work. Now, passive income isn't just about having more freedom and flexibility with your time. It's also about having financial stability. With passive income, you're not relying on just one source of income. Instead, you're creating multiple sources of income, which means that if one income stream fails, you still have other income streams that are bringing in money. This gives you a safety net in case something happens and you lose your job or you're unable to work for some reason. So with passive income, you're not just creating one source of income, you're actually creating multiple sources of income, which means that you're increasing your overall income potential. So hopefully by now, you understand how important passive income is. But the question is, why should you develop passive income? Well, that brings us to number three, why you should develop passive income. When you develop passive income, it actually gives you the ability to live life on your own terms. With passive income, you're not tied down to a job. You can travel when you want to travel. You can spend time with family when you want to spend time with family. You can pursue your passions when you want to pursue your passions. So basically, you have the ability to live life on your own terms. And it's not just about having the ability to live life on your own terms. Passive income also gives you the ability to create generational wealth. With passive income, you can create a legacy for your family. You can provide for your loved ones even after you're gone. So for example, maybe you have children, or maybe you have aging parents. Well, with passive income, you can take care of them without having to work a job yourself. You can also leave a legacy for future generations. Who knows? Maybe you have a child who's not interested in working a 9-to-5 job. Maybe they want to travel the world, or maybe they want to pursue their passions. Well, with passive income, you can leave a legacy for them that allows them to live life on their own terms as well. So hopefully by now you understand how important passive income is and why you should develop passive income. The question is, where do you even begin? So I'm going to leave a couple of videos in the description that will help you get started with passive income. In addition, I'm going to tell you that the best way to get started with passive income is to educate yourself. There are many books that you can read. There are many courses that you can take. So take the time to invest in yourself, to educate yourself on passive income, and then you can start to create your own passive income streams. All right, so that pretty much wraps up this video on what is passive income. I hope that you found value in this video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. And lastly, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. I would love to have you back for the next video. So I'll see you in the next video.